Hi, I'm your instructor Hideki Take, and I think you already went over the all information I posted on the Canvas. If you haven't done so, please do that. Okay? Then when you go over that, you know what kind of assignment I am asking, so you can actually make the your own time management. Time management is important because you are working professional, so you are really busy. I'm not really pushing you with a lot of assignments because I was a business person in Tokyo. That was no joke. So I'm not really pushing you, but I really want you, do assignment correctly so that you actually capture only critical elements of the strategic management. Okay, so make sure you have a time management. Now, assume that you went through the information and you start thinking about, so what is strategic? The term strategic. People use it, you have to think strategic way. You have to be strategic. This is strategic, marketing. But what is really strategic means? Then I used to be a market researcher, so I was working with clients. Clients are, marketing guys, strategists. Also for my age, a few friends became already executives in a corporation. For example, I have one guy, he's a senior manager in Hitachi Corporation already. Another guy is actually, he's a head of the marketing department in the local drugstores in my state in Japan. So also my mother-in-law, she's actually the CEO of the pharmacy in Slovakia. So I was talking with a lot of strategists, and I'm just getting some idea about what strategic means. And if you look at the textbook, strategic is kind of like, how you manage effectively. Yeah. I understand that, but I'm not really seeing it. So this time I want to share my personal idea about strategic. Okay, the term strategic with you. So I give you some time to think about strategic management, which you will learn in this class. Now, before I explain my concept about strategic, I wanna tell you that what you're gonna learn here is just tools, okay, or approaches. You're not gonna have definite answers, okay. So you learn, okay, how you can think, how you should think, to see the problem or issues, then how you actually make solutions, the actions to bring appropriate result in your side. Okay. Also, what kind of tools you can use to analyze, what kind of tools you can actually visualize, what kind of tools you can actually conceptualize. If you took the administrative management with me, we are really focusing on conceptual skills of management. The conceptual skill is not just an imagination, but it's a pure and realistic visualization of the scenarios based on accurately visualize the fact. So you see the data, you see some tools to help you visualize in your brain, so you actually think in a very realistic way. That is a conceptual skill. Okay, so again, think about how you can use the concept, approaches, and tools you learn in this class to be strategic. Okay, now let me share my concept of strategic. The first one is very simple: doing right things. Okay, do right actions. For example, you have 4 major resources of corporation. You have money, you have people, human resources, then you have a good and service, then you have information. You actually appropriately use money. You appropriately use people. You use appropriately your goods and service, then you actually use information effectively. So doing right actions. Okay, use money wisely, use people wisely, use good and service wisely, use information wisely. In order to do that, you need to have an internal assessment. You have to know, right? Before you try to do something correctly, for your company, you have to know the company. So know the company. That is strategic. Okay, you are strategic because you know the company, so you can take right actions. If you remember administrative management, you are always focusing on efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency is a cost. So if you are efficient, that means you are actually cost efficient. If you say you are effective, you are actually productive. Okay? So the ultimate objective of a manager is to maximize efficiency, means minimize the cost. The maximize effectiveness means maximizing productivity. In order to satisfy such conditions, minimum cost and maximum output, then you need strategy. Strategy is the way to actually reduce the cost but maximize the profit outcome. Okay? So in this sense, if you're doing the right actions, you're supposed to satisfy efficiency and effectiveness. I'm not talking about the philosophy here. I'm talking about based on my conversation with a lot of strategists. They simply say, know the company, know the resources accurately, and do right actions based on your information. That's all about it. Then if you're doing right things, you can achieve the good efficiency and effectiveness. Now the second idea about strategic means to respect current ways. A lot of people say strategic, let's introduce a new system, let's destroy the old one and replace with something. Look, a lot of strategists try to respect current ways. Why? Because current ways is depreciated. In other words, current ways are actually stabilized. Okay? So if you can respect current ways by just improving the current ways, that would be the first option for any strategist. If you know the Kaizen activities, continuous improvement is so strategic because you try to analyze what's going on now, current system, and you try to find the best way, which is the cheapest cost for the highest productivity. Okay? The best way to improve the current system so that you don't disturb organization. Disturbance is cost. Disturbance is risk, and risk is cost. You know that. So if you actually use the current systems and you can continuously improve it, that is better than simply introducing a new system. Okay, so respect current ways is strategic. Okay, now another one is synergistic benefits. The synergistic benefit is basically 1 + 1 is more than 2. Now, if you took my administrative management, I was saying that mathematician will be so stupid in company. Mathematician is genius in the college, but stupid in the company because 1 + 1 is always 2 for them. For the strategist, 1 + 1 should be 378. That means synergistic benefit. How you harmonize the all elements. Okay, each department has a people, money, service, and information. How you actually harmonize. That means how you can maximally utilize the resources in your hand to harmonize activities to get the synergistic benefit. You need to have a communication. You need to have the interpersonal skills for that. Okay? So strategic means you are understanding and using the material resources what you have now to gain the synergistic benefit. Okay. The another one is time management. And you say, oh, I know that, Hide, come on, I know time management. Well, according to a lot of strategists, the time management has 2 ideas. One is definitely short, mid-term, and long-term. Right? You have strategy for immediate return. You have a strategy for long-term cultivations. We all know that. Okay, how about another one? If you are a strategist, you are thinking about life cycle. Now, you may know product life cycle, PLC. Yeah. You have a pre-introduction stage, introduction, growth, maturity, and declining, and replacement, substitution. That is a PLC. Company has CLC, company life cycle, and have an obsolescence. You intentionally make product old, so people looking for the new product which you introduce, right? So you really have to think the life cycle of every aspect. Human resource life cycle. What kind of people you're looking for? What kind of people are actually retiring? Well, what kind of people actually leaving the company? Right? Life cycle. Now this company has to grow. For example, the Honda used to be privately owned corporation by Mr. Honda. Mr. Honda was basically fired in 1973 because young executives, young strategists said, it's not a time, it's no longer, the Honda should be privately owned. Honda should be privately controlled by Mr. Honda. They kicked him out. The good thing about that, he accepted it because he was also strategic. So even you have an executive life cycle. So think about life cycle. What's going on? What will be? If you know life cycle, you can make scenarios. Then based on the scenarios, then you can put the short-term actions, long-term action. That is strategic. Okay? Now, I have two more ideas. So be patient. The next one is keeping market position or maintaining market share is strategic. Now, a lot of people say, yeah, strategic, let's do something new. But if you're strategic, you may want to maintain the same size of the company. By eliminating competition, you actually put yourself in a safe place in a certain segment. You can do that. For example, Sekonic is a company making the measurement for the light. If you're a professional photographer, you have to measure the light, the strength of the light. You need a special measure for that. The Sekonic is making 80% in the global market. It's 80% market share. Sekonic not gonna increase the market share because it's not worth it. But Sekonic not gonna lose market share. That means you have to be strategic to maintain 80% of global market share. Olympus has like 70 or maybe higher market share in the gastro camera. Gastro camera, you just put, the doctor can see your guts or stomach or whatever. I don't want to see it, but, So, that kind of market share, Olympus gonna keep it, but they are not gonna increase market share because it's not worth it. Strategic. So if you are actually satisfied, if you know your market size, if you know your company, abilities, perfectly handling the certain market share, keeping such size is also strategic. Strategic is not only to grow. Strategic means also staying as it is. Now, another strategic here, keeping market position, that's good. Yeah, it's boring, but it's so cool. Yeah. But also, there is a word, we call it survivor benefit. Survivor. You survived. So for example, when you are my age, we used to have a record before the CD came. Record, Yeah, I don't know if you know record. Yeah. You have a pickup. Then pickup has a needle, like a needle. And then you can hear the sound. The needle is actually very niche market because no one uses record anymore. So the company survived in the market. It's a natural monopoly. Now they can charge a premium price on the needle. There are cheap needle from China, but if you're looking for high quality needle, then there's a company. And they can charge whatever they want because no one is making it. You have to buy from them. It's a survivor benefit. You have a pioneer benefit, but now you have a survivor benefit. You just survived. Strategically survive, and you got the monopoly. Cool. And that's completely legal. But think about, the maintenance of the market share, or survival of the market share as a strategic. Last one, finally, I can let you go soon. So, people first is strategic. All of them, I could talk. They really like people. They take care of people because people are the most important asset. If you don't take care of people, you have to pay for it. If you are strategic, you pay attention to people. People are not robots. You just can't fire them. Think about their life too. Because if you take care of them, they feel it. And if they feel they are not only loyal to you, but they are creative, they are more like satisfied with the job. That is actually cool. You can make them learners, right? Or proactive persons. If you create such organizational environment, organizational culture, that is a strategic move. Okay? A lot of my friends say it's a stakeholder-wide management. You think about your customers, you think about your employees, you think about your investors, communities. But bottom line is that we think about people's life. If you think about people's life, you think about the green, environmental protections. If you think about the people, you want to earn more money to make sure they got enough dividends, they got enough salary. Right? Think people. That is strategic. Now, I shared my own ideas about strategic, the term strategic. I don't know how you think about it, but I just want to give you, a little bit like a thinking, so that you actually start thinking what strategic means, because this class is about strategic management. I don't know about strategic. Have ideas about strategic. Okay? Then you're going to work from next module and give me a good one. Good one doesn't mean like perfectly correct. Good one is your expression of your ideas. I told you I'm your learning partner. If you express your ideas, your experience, I can learn from you. Then I express my ideas so you can learn from me. There is no way to punish each other. Okay, this class is a capstone. You must earn A. Look, if you have an introduction to business A, good. But your strategic management C-, you're stupid. See? You're supposed to get a B+ in the introduction to business and an A in the strategic management, so you actually learn gradually. It sounds better. And I'm ready to give you A. But I need that. I need your ideas. If I enjoy leading and I give you A, I'm a very generous person. I think so. My wife said that. Yeah, sometimes. So, anyway, I want you to enjoy. I want you to really enjoy thinking, about strategic and some ideas. Okay? So if you have questions, if you have concerns, send me email. And I'll definitely reply to you. Otherwise, just enjoy. Welcome to my class. And I hope you enjoy. I hope we learn together. Thank you.